The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the QATV staff or board of directors. QATV, in compliance with FCC regulations, is prohibited from exercising control over the content of independent, member-produced public access programming.
Hello, I'm Eshita. Call it talk, chat, conversation, or discussion, but it's a passion and an urge to make a difference in today's world by providing voice to the voiceless. That's the reason, that's the inspiration that gave birth to this show. The show has been on air for the last 16 months and has aired 30 plus episodes. The show has been a very powerful instrument here and worldwide. The episodes that we aired and we discussed about, they are related to global issues of regular global women, like domestic violence, from different cultures, from different countries, honor killing, understanding the courage and the reason, the culture and the education, providing education and also knowledge to stop such acts. Solution for trafficked individuals, respecting, rescuing, and finding livelihood for all the trafficked individuals. Women's work-life balance, equality for women, marriage, divorce, relationship, depression, postpartum depression, aging process. All of these are episodes that we have all aired and are interested in our conversation. Understanding and sharing cultures between East and the West. So very important. Gender equality at home as well as in the workplace. Global issues like youth and unemployment, opioid misuse, cross-cultural understanding, and global cultural and business etiquettes. We have mostly concentrated on women and women's issue, but we've also looked into healthcare. We've seen health issues in South Asian women and women all across the world. We also saw that during pregnancy, what a woman goes through when she's from another country or she's displaced. We have touched the heart of not only our audience here, but we have touched globally. And I am also going to introduce you my co-host. She's going to explain her reasons to start the show with me and also her expertise.
Hi, Isha. Hi, my name is Soph. We have both decided as a minority woman to help out the women issue, to help with the issues around the world, like domestic violence, be it. We had experts coming onto our show and telling us about the different issues that people face and the different, the difference that we have between, what the men think and what the women think, and for education also. We've covered quite a lot of subjects in this show, and I hope this show will, enlighten people to the different cultures and the different issues that women face. And I think it's very important nowadays to bring it into the forefront and discuss what we've been discussing, and to encourage people if they have any issues, to come forward, or bring it about, so that the next generation doesn't face the same kind of women's violence, like against women, and also the cultural differences when people do come from, because we both being minorities in this country. It's a global issue, like with trafficking, and with what's happening really. I think it's very important nowadays to look forward to see what we can do, as a woman, what we can do to help out the different issues that are happening, around the world. Yes, it's quite important.
One of the reasons that both of us started airing this show, or gave birth to this show, was we were from not here, we were from a different country, and we grew up here, we loved it, we learned a lot, and we thought that, I'm sure that women from East as well as women from West needs to understand our values from both cultures, so that we can share. Once we respect and we share each other's cultures, we come to know, or we try to resolve issues. Because if you do not know what goes on in the East, how can the West resolve the issue of the East? And if East doesn't know what goes on in the West, how can you resolve the issues of the West? So knowing the cultures from the South Asia, from Far East, traveled all across Europe, grew up in the United States, I thought it was a perfect forum for us, and a platform to share with the global audience,
right,
and to resolve issues, not only on women, but also diverse day-to-day life. When we travel on business nowadays all across the world, we should know the business etiquettes, the business cultures. Only when you know the cultures of different countries can you share and have better business development.
Definitely, because coming from a different culture ourselves, we have an understanding of our own culture, but also the culture of the West. So it's a kind of a a bonding, or kind of a finding out what we can do to bridge the gap between the different cultures, to help each other actually, because as growing up here with parents who are not from here, it was very difficult for us as growing up in the West. And my kids and your kids, we have the same sort of misunderstandings and understanding about each other. So it has taken a lot, and I think it's very important that everybody really gets to know each other, and realize that your way of thinking might be different from what we think, or what they what somebody else thinks. So it's very important to know that and bridge the gap, to know that we have the different backgrounds that we are coming from, and we bring a lot of baggage too, which is sometimes good and sometimes bad, but I think it helps us to talk about it and resolve it. And that's very important, especially nowadays with all the the global is getting smaller and smaller. So I think it's important to have different kinds of people talking about the different subjects that we bring on in this show, and show our viewers what it is to come from different cultures, but still have issues that we face from every day. What the expectations are, because what your expectations might be completely different from my expectations, and I don't think that one is right or wrong. It's just different, and we have to come about
find solutions.
That's right, exactly.
The show has been extremely powerful, and we have got feedback from global audience. It was amazed. First we started off saying it's a South Asian, faces of South Asia, but instead it went mainstream. Not only did we teach the East about the West, we also taught the West about the East. There are lots of family values that we have learned here in the West, which fortunately, the developing countries don't see America that what is family value? Each one have their own family value. They treat their woman in a different way. Here, women are given independence, but women also conserve their independence and also respect the family values, take care of children, work very hard. And it was a lot of interest we had was working with women in the grassroots level. Grassroots level here in United States, as well as in Far East and in South Asia. And what we learned from grassroots level is they are also leaders. It's not just the leaders that women know worldwide, but day-to-day battle that the women do is enormous in the grassroots level. That inspired me and to bring out this show, to give birth to the show, so that we share each other. Since we can't travel, so we bring the world to you. And I hope that has helped this show bring lots of good things to you from all different parts of the globe. There is one thing that has been on my mind is I'm very concerned of the flesh trade or the
Traffic.
finding a solution to the trafficked individual. We'd like to protect them, we'd like to respect them, and we also like to find livelihood for them. And there are ways to do it. In our shows on trafficked individuals, we have expressed that all over the world, if a company can rescue 2 to 3 of the trafficked individual and provide them with livelihood, provide them with education, we have a solution. Global unemployment, it has been a disaster. Our global economy is not doing as well as it did before, but we have these youngsters who need to find jobs, and if they don't, then we have these young challenging minds doing things that you don't want them to do. Opioid misuse, this is terrible. People using these drugs out of the cabinets of their parents and grandparents, or somehow getting them on the street and destroying their lives, killing themselves.
It's a huge problem.
It's a huge problem. Depression, nobody speaks about postpartum depression. First of all, depression itself is a taboo, but then postpartum depression, it's not even addressed in South Asia, Far East, or Middle East, maybe just Western Europe and United States. Here also in United States, we are just coming to recognize postpartum depression. Gender equality. Gender equality is very important not only in the workforce or workplace, it's also important at home. In the South Asia and Far East, people just take woman like she's going to work outside, she's going to work inside, she's going to take care of children.
Everything, like to do with the household. Basically, you're not just working outside, you also need to be cooking, you need to be looking after the kids, you need to be driving them back and forth, for the games or for doctor's appointments, be whatever, but usually it falls on a woman. So they have to do a lot more. And I think people forget that, as a woman, she has so much on her plate. And the different cultures, when they come here, I think they have a hard time understanding that, you need to step up. You need to also help her out. It becomes a big problem. So I think that's why a lot of women have, when we do have domestic violence that is happening here, it's because the man doesn't understand that he needs to actually make a step, like help her out, like we either with the cooking or the shopping or looking after the children. It's very important because it's not done in different countries. It's not the norm.
But that's what is the different cultures about, because if you do not know the culture, then how will the man help? It's for granted in South Asia, in Middle East, in Far East, it's taken for granted. A woman, you can do anything outside, but you have to work inside the house too, which becomes a lot. And when you may have certain help in Middle East, in South Asia, in Far East, when you come to United States or you come to the West, a woman has to do everything, but the cultures don't change. But men are raised in different cultures. So there's a lot that we have learned and we tried to share. And as I said, that you can call it chat. We were chatting all along between Soph and me.
That's right.
You can call it conversation or discussion, call it talk, but we were always trying to resolve issues. We were always trying to find a solution. And that was the reason that inspired us, and we gave birth to Faces of South Asia. Faces of South Asia became quite popular, and then the mainstream America decided to take it and love us for what we were doing. We started getting feedbacks. Then the world started looking at our shows. They started sending feedbacks, and they loved what we were doing. So we want to make a difference in society, and each individual has the power, I believe, to make a difference. And because we traveled worldwide, so we have exposure to different countries, different cultures, tradition, religion, and with such diversity, we start respecting each other. And so we learned that when you start respecting each other and you bring that respect and air it in the shows, people say, wow, we didn't know that. The West says, oh, is that true? That's how culture. So we celebrate each other's cultures.
That's very important, because we all come from different cultures and different backgrounds, and it really helps us to understand each other and know that we do come from different cultures, and to celebrate together. It makes us, united actually, and helps us to get along with our lives and make it more peaceful. And I think that's very important, especially nowadays with what's happening around the world. I think we need to come together as a family, like world family, and make a difference to what we can do. And I think we can start at, as she said, at a grassroots, from little people. Like we can, if we all can make a little difference. And I think that is very important for what's happening around the world.
The key to the show was always working with grassroots levels. It was very easy to work for any other level, but we wanted to work with grassroots level, whether it be it for youth, whether it be it for women's issue, whether it be for business development, gender equality. We always worked with grassroots level. We always saw what is happening at the floor level, and we always tried to help in our different episodes at the grassroots level, and hope that we could share this culture, respect people's tradition, feelings, and once you respect culture, tradition, feelings, then you celebrate each other. And what happens is the West knows the East better, the East knows the West better, how we eat, how we talk, what we respect, what we want. It has been a fabulous journey for both Soph and me.
It has. It definitely has, because we've learned a lot from our individual guests that we've had on this program, and also by ourselves actually. I think it makes a huge difference to all of us, like if we try to understand each other and bring about some sort of understanding and appreciation actually of the different cultures and the different, even different food, different clothes. There's nothing wrong with one or the other. It's just different, and we should accept that. That's so important, I think, in our lives, to accept somebody who is different from us. I mean, that's what the world is. If everybody was the same, God, it would be so boring. It really would be.
And that's been our passion, you see. It's a passion. We did not want to do it because we had to do it. It was a passion to share the word, to help the global audience, and to grow one big family, like Soph said, to make a big family, to understand each other. We do have differences, to understand the women from different cultures, to expose them to the good and the bad of either society. And all of this together gave us the inspiration. We used to talk on the phone, then we decided to speak with all of you. So Faces of South Asia is looking forward to air more shows globally, and we would like to work on many more of projects that we have on our minds. And now we are absolutely, the world is our playground, and we know through different cultures what people are looking for, what women want. The feedbacks have been enormous. It has been such a great journey finding solution for issues, and the positivity doing so. During all of these episodes that we were airing, we always kept positivity on our mind, and we would like to also share that with our global audience, that if you're positive, you will make it. And through all the difficulties, through all the understanding, you should keep the window of positivity open, so you can talk, you can respect, you can understand. And we are from different parts of the world, and we come here and we meet in America, we grow up, we raise our children, and we made it, and we loved it. So hopefully all of us will do the same.
It's really been a journey. It's been a journey for all of us. A challenging journey, definitely. And I think as time goes by, it will be so more. Maybe more for our kids, but I think it might be easier for them because we were the first ones to come here and to realize, it's different, but we need to embrace each other and find happiness. And as you said, respect is a huge issue, and if we can do that, I think it makes a lot of difference to people. Like respecting each other and accepting each other, and I think that's what our show is all about.
The best thing about the show, Faces of South Asia, was we thought we needed to promote the show. We were surprised that as we started airing, instead of promoting the show, people came and spoke to us, mentioned all different issues, and they wanted to be on the show. They wanted to speak on nutrition, on mindfulness. So we have a whole medical show, we have a whole makeup show, beauty and makeup. We have a whole cooking show, presentation show, business etiquette show, cultural etiquette show. So domestic violence, that is a huge issue. So all of this has been a great, challenging, wonderful journey, and hoping to take it all the way through. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It has been wonderful being with you, and hopefully we will fulfill our challenges, our dreams, and our views. I'm Isha.
And I'm Soph. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll see you next time.